Scene 1. The office building. The camera opens on a tall, sleek office building. The hustle and bustle of corporate life is evident. Inside, we see the CEO, Alexander Kingsley, a successful and sharp businessman, pacing in his luxurious office. He's on the phone, barking orders as usual. Alexander. Into the phone. I want those reports on my desk by noon. No excuses. Yes, I'm counting on you. He slams the phone down, frustrated. His assistant, Maggie, enters the room holding a folder. Maggie. Sir, you have a meeting with the investors in 30 minutes. Alexander. Sighs, another one of those. I need a break, Maggie. I'm going to check the building. A little change of scenery, you know? Maggie nods in understanding. Scene 2. The restroom.
Cut to the restroom.
Alexander walks in, not expecting much. The restroom is pristine, but as he enters the stalls, he notices something unusual. He pauses in front of the last stall. He sees a figure, Emma, the cleaning lady, curled up on the toilet asleep. Her mop is resting beside her, and a cleaning cloth is draped over her shoulder. Alexander stares at her for a moment, confusion turning to curiosity. He hesitates before knocking gently on the stall door. Alexander. Softly, excuse me? Are you okay? Emma stirs, slowly waking up, rubbing her eyes. Emma. Groggily, huh?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I must have dozed off. She stands up quickly, embarrassed, wiping her hands on her cleaning apron. Emma, I didn't mean to fall asleep here. It's been a long day and I was so tired. Alexander. Laughs softly. I can see that. But are you all right? He looks at her, taking in her tired eyes and worn-out face, though she's still quite beautiful despite her exhaustion. There's something about her that intrigues him. Emma. Nervously, yes. I'm fine, sir. I'll finish up and leave. But Alexander can't take his eyes off her. He's captivated, more than he realizes. Scene 3. The unexpected connection. Over the next few weeks, Alexander begins to find excuses to wander into the restroom. He would pass by the cleaning lady, Emma, and they would exchange brief conversations. She's always polite, but there's an undeniable chemistry building between them. One afternoon, after a particularly long workday, Alexander returns to the restroom. This time, Emma isn't sleeping, but she's still there, wiping down the counters with determination. Her exhaustion is visible, but she has an infectious smile. Alexander, smiling, you seem to be the hardest worker in this whole building. Do you ever take a break? Emma laughs. I wish I had time for breaks, sir. But this place won't clean itself. Alexander. You don't have to call me sir.
Call me Alexander.
And I think you deserve a break. Emma. Hesitant, really?
I
don't know.
It's a job.
It's what I do. Alexander. Softly, and I admire that. But sometimes we all deserve a little something more than just the job. They stare at each other for a long beat. Something in the air shifts. There's a deeper connection forming. Scene 4. A date that changes everything. Alexander arranges to meet Emma for coffee outside of the building. They sit at a small cafe, both nervous but excited. Over the course of the conversation, Alexander discovers that Emma has dreams of starting her own business. Despite her tough exterior, she's intelligent and ambitious, but life has kept her down. Alexander. You know, you're not like anyone I've ever met. You've got this fire in you. Most people would have given up by now. Emma. Smiling softly. I guess I'm just used to working hard for everything I want. I've had to. As the night wears on, their connection deepens. They talk about everything, life, dreams, the future. And in that moment, Alexander realizes he's falling for her. Emma, too, feels a spark, something she hasn't felt in a long time. Scene 5. The unlikely romance. Days turn into weeks, and their relationship flourishes. Emma begins to spend more time with Alexander, and he shows her a side of life she never thought possible. They share intimate moments, laughs, and support one another's ambitions. Despite the difference in their social status, their love grows stronger, built on respect and understanding. Alexander, the Millionaire CEO, finds himself drawn to Emma's kindness and resilience. Emma, the humble cleaning lady, sees the gentler side of the powerful CEO. Scene 6. The Big Decision. One evening, Alexander takes Emma out for a fancy dinner. He has something important to say. Alexander. Nervously, Emma? I've been thinking. A lot. I don't care about the world's expectations. I want to be with you. Will you be with me, too? Will you take a chance on us? Emma's eyes widen, a mixture of surprise and joy on her face. She takes a deep breath before replying. Emma. Softly, I never imagined something like this could happen, but yes. I want to take that chance with you, Alexander. Scene 7. Facing the reality. Time passes, and the relationship between Alexander and Emma grows even stronger. They spend more time together, balancing their worlds, Alexander's high-profile CEO life and Emma's down-to-earth, hardworking nature. But as their love blossoms, the challenges begin to surface. One evening, Alexander invites Emma to a company gala. It's an extravagant event, full of wealthy investors, celebrities, and influential business leaders. Emma feels out of place among the opulence, her nerves taking over. Emma, whispering to Alexander, are you sure I should be here? I don't belong in a place like this.
It's not me.
Alexander, smiling, reassuring her, you belong with me. And that's all that matters. Emma hesitates but takes his hand. She steps into the grand ballroom, trying her best to fit in. However, the whispers around them are hard to ignore. The room is filled with curious glances. Alexander's colleagues and investors begin to gossip, whispering about the cleaning lady walking in with the CEO. Investor 1, whispering, I can't believe he's with someone like her. How did that even happen? Investor 2, laughing quietly. What's the world coming to? A CEO dating a cleaning lady? Emma's face flushes with embarrassment, but Alexander holds her hand tight, walking her through the crowd with confidence. Alexander, loudly to the room, I want everyone to meet someone very special to me, Emma. He turns to Emma and gives her a proud smile, completely unbothered by the gossip. He raises his glass. Alexander, smiling, she's the woman I've chosen. And I'll stand by her no matter what anyone thinks. The room falls silent for a moment before an awkward murmur spreads. But Emma looks up at Alexander, her heart swelling with affection for him. In this moment, she realizes he's not just a powerful CEO, he's the man who truly sees her. Scene 8. The Turning Point. After the gala, Emma becomes unsure of her place in Alexander's world. She starts questioning if their relationship will work in the long run. She feels like an outsider in his high society life, where she can never measure up. She decides to take a break and clear her head. One evening, she disappears for a few days, staying at a small, quiet cabin by the lake, seeking solitude. Alexander begins to worry, unable to reach her. He's confused by her sudden disappearance. Alexander, frustrated, pacing, Maggie, have you heard from Emma? Where is she? Maggie, gently, I think she just needs some space, sir. You know how she can be sometimes. Alexander's heart aches at the thought of losing her. He knows this is more than just about fitting into each other's worlds. It's about overcoming their differences and making their own place together. Scene 9. The Reunion. After a few days, Alexander tracks Emma down. He drives to the lake cabin, determined to talk to her. He knocks on the door, his hands shaking as he waits. Emma, opening the door, surprised Alexander? What are you doing here? Alexander, softly, I came because I can't let you go. I love you, Emma. And I want to be with you, no matter the obstacles, no matter what the world thinks. Emma, voice trembling, but I don't belong in your world, Alexander. I'm not the woman you deserve. You deserve someone who fits in, someone like them. Alexander, shaking his head, no. I deserve someone who's real, someone who works hard, who loves without pretension.
Someone like you. You're the one I want, Emma.
You always have been. They both stand in silence, emotions heavy in the air. Finally, Emma takes a step forward, her eyes filled with tears. Emma, softly, I love you too, Alexander. But I need you to understand that I'm not perfect. I'm not like the women you're used to. Alexander, holding her hands gently, I don't need perfect. I need you. All of you. They embrace, and in that moment, all the worries, insecurities, and doubts fade away. The bond they share is stronger than anything society can impose on them. Scene 10. The New Beginning. Months later, Emma and Alexander are seen in a new light. They've learned how to navigate their differences, building a life that is uniquely their own. Emma has launched her own small business, a boutique cleaning service that focuses on eco-friendly products and helping others. Alexander continues to lead his company, but he's also become an advocate for supporting local businesses, especially those like Emma's. They take a trip together, escaping the noise of the corporate world to focus on their relationship. Alexander surprises Emma by booking a quiet cabin near the mountains, a place where they can relax and truly be themselves. As they sit by a warm fire, looking out at the snowy landscape, Alexander turns to Emma. Alexander, smiling, I never thought I'd find love in the most unexpected place. Emma, laughing, you just never know, do you? Scene 11. New Challenges. Weeks go by, and Emma's business flourishes. She's no longer just the cleaning lady, but a successful entrepreneur in her own right. Alexander's support has been unwavering, but as both their careers grow, so do the pressures that come with them. One afternoon, Alexander receives an urgent call from his board members. They're not happy with his recent focus on smaller businesses and social causes. They want him to refocus on expanding the corporation and increasing profits, which leads to tension between him and his investors. Board member. On the phone, sternly, Alexander, we need you to get back to the bottom line. These personal interests, helping small businesses and supporting local causes, they're good for your image, but they're not profitable. Alexander. Angrily, I don't care about profit at the cost of values. These personal interests matter to me. And I'm not compromising on that. He hangs up, his frustration mounting. Meanwhile, Emma is in her office, looking at the expansion of her own company. Her business is thriving, but it's becoming more difficult to juggle everything on her own. She feels the weight of the business world pressing down on her, just like Alexander does. The two of them meet at dinner that night, but the tension is palpable. Emma can tell something's wrong. Emma, gently, you've been quiet. What's going on, Alexander? Alexander, sighing, my board. They're pressuring me to abandon the smaller projects I've been working on. They think I'm straying too far from the corporate path, and they want to focus on what makes the most money. They don't understand why I'm doing it, Emma. Emma pauses, but why don't you just leave them? Follow what you believe in. Alexander, looking at her, conflicted, it's not that simple. I've worked so hard to build this company. It's my legacy. But the more I think about it, the more I realize, maybe it's not worth it if I have to lose who I am along the way. Emma reaches out, her hand comforting on his. Emma, you don't have to choose between your dreams and who you are. But maybe it's time to create your own path, just like I did. You've always been more than your company, Alexander. He looks at her, clearly moved by her words, but still torn. Scene 12. Taking risks. The following weeks are filled with decisions. Alexander starts thinking seriously about Emma's advice. He begins meeting with smaller, independent entrepreneurs to learn about their challenges and successes. Meanwhile, Emma faces her own hurdles. Her company is growing, but she's also facing competition from larger corporations. She realizes she needs more support to keep her business alive. One day, Alexander surprises her by showing up at her office with a proposal. Alexander, smiling, I've been thinking, what if we combine forces? You've got the heart and soul of your business, and I have the resources to help it grow even more. I can be your business partner, not just your boyfriend. Emma, astonished, you'd really do that? But you're CEO of a huge company. You could have anything. Alexander, shrugging, I don't want anything unless it's with you. I want to help you build something meaningful. Together. Emma is overwhelmed with emotion. She looks at Alexander, her heart racing, knowing that this is a huge step in their relationship. Emma, quietly, I don't know what to say. This is huge. Are you sure? Alexander, nodding, I've never been more sure about anything in my life. Scene 13. A new venture. The partnership between Alexander and Emma blossoms as they work together to grow Emma's business, combining her eco-friendly cleaning services with Alexander's corporate connections. They start hosting workshops, offering consultations, and even launching a green initiative that catches the attention of the media. Their business becomes a symbol of innovation and sustainability, blending the corporate world with heart-centered values. However, not everyone is happy about their success. The board members from Alexander's company grow increasingly frustrated with his attention diverted from their agenda. Tensions rise, and one day, they confront him. Board member. Sternly, Alexander, you're compromising the future of this company. We don't need distractions. Focus on the bottom line, or we'll find someone who will. Alexander. Standing firm, no. I'm not going to ignore what matters. And if that means stepping away, then I'll do it. I've built my life on success, but now I'm building it on purpose. Scene 14. The bold decision. The stress of balancing both worlds starts taking a toll on their relationship. Emma feels guilty, thinking she might be pulling Alexander away from his legacy, and Alexander feels the weight of betraying the company that made him who he is. But as they sit together, talking late into the night, they both realize something. Emma, quietly, maybe it's time to make a change for both of us. You've given so much to this company, but maybe now it's time to give more to yourself. And to us. Alexander, taking her hand, I've been scared, Emma. Scared of losing everything I've built. But I've realized none of that matters without you. I want to be the man you see me as, not the man they want me to be. They share a quiet, powerful moment, knowing that they both need to make choices that align with their values, even if it means giving up everything they've known. Scene 15. Starting fresh. The following months are a whirlwind of change. Alexander steps down from his position as CEO, choosing to support smaller businesses and pursue projects that align with his values. Emma's business flourishes, and with Alexander's help, they launch a new initiative that empowers women in business. They continue to work together, building a future that's more meaningful than anything they could have imagined before. Their love is stronger, grounded in mutual respect and a shared vision for the future. 1 year later, they stand at the grand opening of their first joint venture, a community space that combines business with heart, offering support for entrepreneurs and artists alike. Alexander, smiling at Emma, this is only the beginning. Together. Emma, grinning back, together. Scene 16. New Horizons. Months after the opening of their community space, Alexander and Emma find themselves facing new and exciting opportunities. Their joint venture has gained attention, attracting investors who believe in their mission to combine business with social impact. However, as their influence grows, so does the pressure to keep up with expectations. One morning, Alexander stands by the window in their shared office, looking out at the city skyline. Emma enters with a cup of coffee, her eyes gleaming with excitement. Emma, excitedly, Alexander, we've been invited to speak at the Global Entrepreneurs Summit next month. Can you believe it? Alexander, turning to her with a smile, I can believe it. You've been working so hard for this. Emma, handing him the coffee, and it's all because of you too. You didn't just help me build my business, you helped me believe in it. They share a moment, looking at each other with admiration. But beneath the excitement, there's a hint of uncertainty on Alexander's face. Alexander, thoughtfully, it feels like everything's moving so fast. We've come so far, but I wonder if we're ready for what's next. The summit, the media attention, the partnerships, it's all overwhelming. Emma, sitting beside him, I know what you mean. But we've always taken things one step at a time. And no matter what comes next, we'll handle it together, just like we always have. Alexander takes a deep breath, still unsure but comforted by Emma's unwavering support. Scene 17. The tipping point. As the summit draws closer, Alexander and Emma are faced with a new challenge. A large corporation reaches out with an offer to merge their businesses. They promise greater resources, a global reach, and even more influence. It's everything they've dreamed of professionally, but at a cost. The corporation's values don't align with everything Alexander and Emma have worked for. One evening, after a long day of meetings, Alexander and Emma sit at their dining table, discussing the offer. The tension in the air is palpable. Alexander, looking at the contract, conflicted, this could change everything. We could reach more people, have the resources to expand rapidly. But something doesn't feel right. It's not what we've built. Emma, frowning, I know. The money is tempting, but we've always said that we're about more than profit. This would change the way we operate. I don't want to lose what we stand for. Alexander, sighing, I know. But it's hard, Emma. We could be on top of the world. It feels like we've come so far, and yet it's never been more uncertain. They sit in silence for a moment, both contemplating the weight of the decision. The pressure is mounting, but they both know what's at stake. Emma, softly, we've already achieved so much. And we've done it our way. I don't want to compromise that for success that doesn't feel true to us. We'll find another way. We always do. Alexander looks at her, his eyes filled with gratitude. He reaches for her hand, his decision becoming clear. Alexander, smiling, you're right. We built something real, something meaningful. No merger is worth losing that. We'll keep pushing forward, no matter the challenge. Scene 18, the summit and a bold move. The Global Entrepreneurs Summit arrives, and Alexander and Emma take the stage as speakers. They share their journey, their unexpected meeting, the obstacles they overcame, and how they built their business without compromising their values. The crowd is captivated by their authenticity and passion. After their speech, they're approached by several investors, eager to offer their support. But Alexander and Emma, more confident than ever, turn down all offers. Instead, they announce their decision to remain independent, staying true to their vision. Alexander, at the podium, we didn't start this journey to build an empire for ourselves. We started it to make a difference. And that's the only thing that will guide us moving forward. Emma, smiling, we're here to help others, not just to climb the corporate ladder. And if we can inspire even one person to follow their heart, then that's enough for us. The audience applauds loudly, moved by their words. As they step down from the stage, their hearts are full, knowing that they've made the right choice. Scene 19, a new chapter. As the year progresses, Alexander and Emma's business continues to thrive. They expand their community space into multiple cities, offering mentorship, education, and resources to entrepreneurs from all walks of life. Their vision becomes a movement, a way of doing business that's rooted in kindness, social responsibility, and environmental consciousness. One evening, as they sit in their office, reviewing the latest reports, Alexander looks at Emma with a smile. Alexander, grinning, I never imagined we'd be here, doing this together. Emma, laughing, neither did I. But I wouldn't change it for the world. We've created something real, something that's made a difference. And I'm proud of us. They share a quiet moment, their hands intertwined, knowing that despite all the challenges, they've built something far greater than just a business. They've built a legacy of love, trust, and impact. Scene 20, the proposal. As the sun sets over the city, Alexander leads Emma to a rooftop garden, the place where they shared their first kiss months ago. The soft glow of the city lights below illuminates their faces. Alexander turns to Emma, his heart pounding. Alexander, nervously, Emma, there's one more thing I want to ask you. Something I've been thinking about for a while now. Emma, curious, what is it? Alexander, getting down on one knee. Emma, you've been my partner in every sense of the word. You've made me a better person, a better man. And I can't imagine my life without you by my side. Will you marry me? Emma's eyes fill with tears of joy. She looks at him, overwhelmed by the love and growth they've shared. Emma, tears streaming, yes. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Scene 21, the new adventure. The days following their engagement are filled with joy and excitement. Emma and Alexander are finally ready to take their relationship and business ventures to the next level. The wedding planning is in full swing, and they're also expanding their initiatives further, working with more communities and entrepreneurs who share their values. But even amidst all the happiness, they feel the weight of their responsibilities and what's to come. One evening, as they sit on the balcony of their apartment overlooking the city, Emma looks over at Alexander with a thoughtful expression. Emma, dreamily, I can't help but wonder, what's next for us? What happens after the wedding? After all these incredible projects are done? Alexander, looking up at the sky, it's a good question. We've accomplished so much already, but I think we've only scratched the surface. We've created something that's meaningful, but I feel like we're just beginning. Maybe the real adventure is still ahead. Emma, smiling softly, I agree. Our love story is still being written, and I think the next chapter will be even bigger than we ever imagined. They exchange a knowing look, feeling the excitement of the future ahead of them. Scene 22. Stepping into new roles. As Emma and Alexander continue building their empire, they start to realize the impact their story has had on others. They begin receiving letters, messages, and even visits from people who've been inspired by their journey. From entrepreneurs who took risks and started their own businesses to individuals who've been inspired by their partnership, the influence they've had grows beyond their expectations. One day, a group of young women in the community space approaches Emma and Alexander after a seminar they've given. Young woman, shyly, excuse me? I just wanted to say thank you. You two are a real inspiration. We've been thinking about starting a business, and hearing your story made us believe it's possible. Emma, smiling warmly, that's why we do what we do. If we can help even one person take that leap, it's worth it. Alexander, nodding, the world needs more dreamers who turn their ideas into action. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. Keep going. The group thanks them and walks away, their faces filled with hope. Emma and Alexander exchange a proud look, knowing they're not just building a business, but a movement. Scene 23. Wedding preparations. The wedding planning process becomes a beautiful whirlwind for Emma and Alexander. They're determined to create a day that's not just about a grand celebration, but one that reflects their journey and values. They opt for a small, intimate ceremony with close friends and family, and every detail is thoughtfully chosen to reflect who they are as a couple. During one of their planning sessions, Emma looks over at Alexander, his eyes shining with excitement as he sketches out some ideas for the venue. Emma, laughing, I can't believe how much you've gotten into the wedding planning. I thought you'd leave that to me. Alexander, grinning, I might not have known much about flowers or table settings before, but now,
I'm all in.
it's about making this day as special as everything we've built together. Emma, smiling, you really do surprise me, don't you? He winks at her playfully, but there's a depth of emotion in his eyes as he watches her. He takes her hand gently, his voice growing serious. Alexander, softly, I've never been more sure of anything in my life, Emma. This day, this life with you, it's everything I've ever wanted. Emma, holding his gaze, me too. I couldn't imagine going through this world with anyone else. Scene 24. The wedding day. The big day arrives, and the air is filled with joy, excitement, and a little nervous energy. Alexander stands at the altar, dressed in a tailored suit, his heart pounding as he waits for Emma to walk down the aisle. The guests are seated in a beautiful open garden, with a soft breeze fluttering through the trees. The ceremony is intimate and personal, filled with heartfelt bows, laughter, and a deep sense of love. When Emma steps into view, her eyes locked on Alexander's, his heart skips a beat. She's stunning in a simple yet elegant dress, her hair pulled back in soft waves. As she walks toward him, time seems to slow down, and the world fades away. It's just the two of them. When she reaches the altar, Alexander smiles at her with a mixture of awe and adoration. The officiant begins the ceremony, but all they can do is look at each other, knowing that this moment is the beginning of the rest of their lives. Alexander, whispering to Emma, I've been waiting for this moment forever. Emma, smiling, me too. It feels like this was always meant to be. As the ceremony continues, they exchange vows that speak not just of love, but of partnership, growth, and the commitment to always choose each other no matter what comes their way. When the officiant announces them as husband and wife, Alexander lifts Emma into his arms, spinning her around in sheer joy. The guests cheer, and the celebration begins. Scene 25. Building a legacy together. As the years go by, Alexander and Emma's life is filled with even more success, joy, and growth. Their company continues to thrive, expanding its reach and influence around the world. But what matters most to them is the work they do together, helping others build their dreams, creating a community that nurtures growth, and always remaining true to their values. They travel the world together, speaking at conferences, sharing their journey, and learning from others. But at the heart of it all is their love for each other, a love that has only deepened with time. One evening, as they sit together in their home, looking at the stars outside, Alexander turns to Emma, his voice filled with deep affection. "Alexander," smiling, "I couldn't have asked for a better partner in life. You've shown me what real love is, love that's grounded, patient, and filled with purpose. I'm so grateful for you, Emma." Emma, squeezing his hand, "And I'm so grateful for you. We've built something amazing together, and we've done it with love. No matter where life takes us, I know we'll keep building together." Scene 26. A New Horizon. After years of hard work, dedication, and countless triumphs, Emma and Alexander find themselves reflecting on how far they've come. Their partnership has been the foundation of everything they've achieved, but now they feel that there's something new on the horizon, something bigger, something that calls to them beyond the walls of their business. One afternoon, while traveling through Europe to visit one of their new initiatives, Emma and Alexander sit at a small cafe in Paris. The city buzzes with life around them, but they are caught up in their own thoughts. Alexander stirs his coffee slowly, his brow furrowed with contemplation. "Alexander, musing, we've done so much together, built a business, inspired people, created something real. But I can't shake the feeling that there's more we're meant to do." Emma, raising an eyebrow. "More? Like what?" "We've already expanded globally and are working with so many entrepreneurs. What more is there?" Alexander, shrugging. "I don't know. I've been thinking a lot about legacy. It's not just about what we've built here. It's about how we can make the world a better place for the next generation, something that goes beyond business. Something that really shifts things." Emma looks at him, intrigued. She's been feeling the same pull, but hearing Alexander express it so clearly makes her realize it's something they both need to explore. Emma, smiling softly, "I think I know what you mean. It's like, we've created a platform, but what if we can use it to do something bigger? Something more transformative. We could mentor not just entrepreneurs, but leaders in other fields. We could use our resources and influence to impact society in a way that challenges the status quo." Alexander's eyes light up as he listens to Emma's words, realizing they're both on the same wavelength. Alexander, excitedly, "Exactly. What if we start an initiative to support leaders in every industry, people who are using their power for good, people who want to create positive change in the world? We could build a network of changemakers who uplift one another, provide resources, and give them the platform to amplify their voices." Emma, nodding, "That could be incredible. We've always focused on business, but we've always believed in people. If we can show the world that leadership doesn't have to be about power or profit but about creating meaningful change, that would be revolutionary." Scene 27. The Changemakers Network. Determined to make their vision a reality, Emma and Alexander begin developing the framework for what they decide to call the Changemakers Network. Their goal is to create a global community of leaders, activists, innovators, and entrepreneurs who share a commitment to using their influence to make a positive impact. They launch a series of programs, including leadership training, a mentorship platform, and global summits to gather like-minded individuals who are dedicated to making a real difference in the world. They tap into their network of contacts, reaching out to people from various sectors: environmentalists, educators, human rights advocates, and tech innovators. As they begin to see the fruits of their labor, more and more influential people reaching out to be part of their mission, they realize how far-reaching their efforts could go. Emma, looking at the website of their new platform, "This is incredible. We have hundreds of leaders already signed up, and we've only just begun." Alexander, smiling, the response has been overwhelming. It feels like we've sparked something big, something that could change the world. Scene 28. Facing doubts and challenges. With great success comes new challenges. As the Changemakers network grows, so does the scrutiny. Critics begin questioning whether they're really able to shift the status quo, especially given their immense success in the business world. Some accuse them of being too idealistic, too focused on lofty goals without understanding the real-world obstacles. One evening, after a particularly hard day of interviews, Emma sits down with Alexander in their study. Her shoulders are heavy, the weight of the criticism starting to take a toll on her. Emma, sighing, "It's getting harder, Alexander. The negativity is starting to get to me. Some people think we're just a couple of rich dreamers who have no idea what it's like to struggle. That we're out of touch. It's frustrating." Alexander, gently, "I get it. People are always going to question us when we step outside the box. But you and I know that we've been through our own struggles. We didn't get here by accident. And we're not just talking the talk, we're walking the walk. Our impact speaks for itself." Emma, nodding slowly, "You're right. But sometimes I wonder if we're actually making a difference. Are we really reaching the people who need this the most?" Alexander reaches for her hand, offering her comfort and strength. Alexander, with conviction, "We are. It might take time, but change always does. We didn't create this network for the critics. We created it for the people who want to make a difference and need the platform to do so. And no one can take that away from us." Scene 29. A transformative moment. Months pass and Emma and Alexander find themselves at the first official global summit for the Changemakers Network. The event is a resounding success, with over 1,000 participants from around the world. Entrepreneurs, artists, scientists, and activists all gather to share their ideas and collaborate on solutions for some of the world's biggest problems. During the summit, a young woman named Sophia, an environmental scientist from Brazil, presents a groundbreaking idea to combat deforestation in the Amazon. Her passion and vision move the entire room. Emma and Alexander, both deeply inspired, offer to help fund her project and connect her with experts who can help make it a reality. After the event, as they walk through the bustling halls of the summit, they stop to take a moment in a quiet corner, letting everything sink in. Emma, smiling with tears in her eyes, this is what it's all about. Helping people like Sophia, who have the courage to challenge the system. This is real change. Alexander, nodding, his voice filled with emotion, "I don't think I've ever been prouder of anything in my life. We've built something that's bigger than us, something that will leave a legacy for generations to come." They embrace each other, knowing that the work they've started is just the beginning. Their vision is no longer a dream, it's becoming a reality. Scene 30. The future unfolding. As the years pass, the Changemakers network grows into a global movement. Its influence spreads across industries, governments, and communities. Emma and Alexander's role as mentors and leaders only deepens as they continue to inspire the next generation of changemakers. They travel the world, seeing firsthand the impact of their efforts. And through it all, their bond only grows stronger. They've built something not just for themselves, but for humanity, a network of people who are committed to doing good together. On the anniversary of their wedding, Emma and Alexander find themselves in a quiet, serene place, back at the rooftop garden where they first shared a kiss. As they stand there, looking out at the city that's now home to both their personal and professional journey, Emma looks at Alexander with a smile that says it all.